All right, and then we'll be going to our last session of the day. And yes, the last session is with Charlie Takeuchi and Terry Tomonaga on the panel topic of Japanese craftsmanship meets Web3. Do we have the panelists here in the room? Or is this an online session? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's online, offline. Do we have Charlie Takeuchi and Terry Tomonaga? Okay, all right. And is your co-panelist with you? Are you alone or is you?
We have two more.
Okay, okay, all right. Yeah, we can get started. Which one are you? You're Charlie Takeuchi?
I'm Highball Charlie.
Okay, Highball Charlie. All right. So next session, yeah, maybe we can wait until when your friends join you. Okay, or do you want to start already?
Introduce myself.
Okay, all right. Stage is yours.
Highball everyone. Let me talk in English today. Before my co-founder Terry and Emily come here, let me explain who I am. I'm Charlie, Highball Charlie. People call me Highball Charlie because I'm kind of father of Highball in Japan. I've been working for Suntory like 26 years, and I joined Suntory because I simply love drinking and eating. Hey, Emily, Terry.
Hey, what's up?
Do we have a slide? Yeah. So I will continue to introduce myself. So in 2008, my team developed the first highball machine in Japan in 2008. Also, I designed the famous highball mug. Do you drink highball? Do you? And you drink it. You always drink in a mug. That's Japanese style highball in Japan. And we designed that highball mug. And since before we started this project, whiskey market had been declined over 25 years, and Suntory failed to recruit new drinkers. So highball project was one of the final challenge to recruit new drinkers. And it went well. 8 years later, our CEO, President Tak Ninami, told me, hey, Charlie, it's been super successful. Highball is successful in Japan. We don't need you anymore. Just go to US and find another opportunity of highball in US. So I was transferred to Chicago in 2016 as a highball evangelist. And I decided to have a nickname, Charlie. My real name is Atsushi Takeuchi, but it's too hard for Americans to remember my name. So I worked hard as a highball evangelist over 5 years, and I returned to Japan 2 years ago. And now I'm teaming up with Terry and Emily from Edge Ships to work on Web3 project, which is called Sakazuki. That's what we are going to talk about. All right.
Hey guys, how's it going? Japan is super hot. My name is Terry. I'm a founder of Edge Ships. I'm a co-founder for Sakazuki. And, like, I got into Web3. Us three, we're not a, like, tech dude like most of the people here. We're just normal people. And, I funded my company, my last company, 20 years for international education company. And my passion is all about Japan, dude. It's like, how can I get Japanese people all the craft, all the highest quality stuff, manga, anime, game, anything you name it, whiskey. Like, we really wanted to put that outside to the global people, right? And I really thought when I met like Web3 tech and, just got in, I think this technology can, change Japanese culture, Japanese craft in, better way. That's how I got in, and I spent a lot of money, but, I learned a lot, and that's how I met Charlie. And that's how I got in, and now we're trying to, change the whole industry about the Web3 and the craft, and, we're all about just, how can we provide the best possible, product to the world through the technology. And it's not about, we really think Web3 is just a tool, right? To do what we really wanted to do. And I think that's the focus that what we want to do as a craft. And yeah, that's how we got in. And go ahead, Emily.
Hi everybody. Hi. Are you guys enjoying EDCON? Yeah. I'm not on this here because I wasn't planning on the stage, but they just grabbed me on the stage. So my name is Emily. I'm doing brand director at Sakazuki and also co-founder at A-Ships. I've been working with Terry for probably more than 10, 11 years, focusing on like lessen the gap between Japanese market and the global scene. And my passion is always about people. And I'm not really a tech person. I've been in this Web3 for at least 3 years, but still like I feel like, this Web3 is gonna make a lot of changes in terms of like, how do you say that? Like how people see each other, how people connect each other. Because like for me, like, I go by just a Japanese girl on Twitter, actually X right now. But the reason why is like I've been sick of like this Web 2 type of like influencers marketing, something that only visible, And then Sakazuki, I think, what is fascinating for me is like Sakazuki can bring authenticity and then transparency, into this Web 3 market. Because like Japan, like there's so many great IPs, so many like, hidden culture, hidden gems, craftsmanship, everything. And then I believe, these people, like this project's gonna bring this, to the front end, not just the marketing part. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to be here and, I'll try to, gather more like, hidden story behind. But yeah, so what is Sakazuki? Why Sakazuki?
So Sakazuki, most Japanese people will understand. Originally, it means sake cup. In Japan, there's a historical ritual to get bonded, which means during wedding ceremony, when clinking the glass of Sakazuki, it means eternal bonding. Also, Japanese mafia, yakuza, gang, do the same ceremony, which means we are family. So the reason I came up with this project is when I worked in US, I saw lots of people really appreciate Japanese craftsmanship. But after returning to Japan, what I saw here is why we undervalue our own craftsmanship. Everything looks so low priced. Everything seems to me underestimated. So the starting point of this project was I directly reached out to our owner saying, what if we build up a direct-to-fund global community who are happy to unlock and celebrate those hidden gems craftsmanship which are undervalued, which are not allowed to test and launch in this small island Japan, or because of maybe too expensive cost, doesn't fit mass production. Why don't we give a platform for those hidden gems craftsmanship with global connection and finding the right people globally to celebrate those hidden gems? That kind of fun community I want to build up. That was a starting point of Sakazuki. So it's a community that gives exclusive access to meet, to unlock those hidden gems craftsmanship that money just cannot buy, which means it's not a selling platform to sell our brand. So Sakazuki is here with a great purpose and cause to unlock and celebrate hidden gems craftsmanship in Japan. Do you want to touch more on?
It's again, I don't know if Charlie mentioned, Charlie's from, he's like a legendary guy in Santori Group. He was in like TV like 2 weeks ago. They make documentary, everything for him. What we want to do is, again, I really think that technology is more about giving people power, right? It's not about the, centralized company or anything, gaining everything data. It's more about how can we let people use this technology to do what they really want to do. And as a Santori, big as they are, we're not about making money or anything. We're trying to, hey, why don't we do create, Suntory's brand and all the craft, and create something, closer to like a platform, right? Where everybody can kind of use and, reach the global market. I think that's the way that you use, I really think that's the way blockchain should be used to connect people, and that's how I really think Japan is a right fit in that way, because Japanese people care so much about human, relationship, right? People to people relationship. I don't know how many people, like maybe like, EDCON, a lot of people talk about tech, but, that's why I think, I'm not dismissing technology. It's more about, hey, let's work together. I think this technology is amazing, right? And we're not a tech people. We're people, right? So we want to work with those, how can we use that tech to leverage that, what we have, our strength and stuff. And again, unlocking the hidden gem just means, there's so much craft. I know you guys came to Japan. You guys are going around, eating sushi, you're looking at the details, attention about the, the train coming on time. That's like fucking amazing compared to the United States, like they never come on time. So like this stuff, the Japanese people, for us, it's a standard, right? But for people outside, it's not a standard. How can we use that? How can we use that culture and technology and craft and connect with people who really cares about it, appreciates it? That's what we want to do. So, okay, we can go next.
Yeah, so like Terry said, we're using Web3 not because it's just a trend, but because it solves the problem we focus. And this is something that, we really need to discuss, like why do we need to use Web3 technologies? Because there are like a lot of Web2 companies. Like today we had discussion with like major like Japanese leading companies together, and then they're interested in getting into Web3, but still they're skeptical, and then also they don't know why they have to get in. They don't know why, like they don't have like an urgency to use the technologies.
I really think a lot of people are in this technology. We've been talking around the world and talking to like big ass companies, and they're like, "Oh, we're in it because there's no more upside to Web 2, right? There's like we can see the ceiling." And these are companies that's like really successful at this stage of they're making a lot of monies, and their business is booming. They're probably and they're the one who's looking at Web3. What's the next technology that we can sustain that lead, right? And, but are you guys do you guys see what this technology is? Or are you guys just trying to find out? And I'm pretty sure, that's the biggest question everybody's asking. Why Web3? Why Web3? And that's where I think, I don't know, from our part, there's a reason why we use Web3. It's not because we saw, everybody's using it, we can make a lot of money, but it's more like, hey, me and Charlie, we've been talking about it. There's, again, undervalued craft in Japan, shokunin-san, and we go to every single, I was at Gunma and, Kagoshima and everywhere. We go to the factory and we talk to these craftsmen. And we're like, these are amazing, and people overseas, they really want to be part of this. They really want to have this stuff, but they don't know about these people that they exist, right? And oh shit, what's going on? There's, it's a Web 2 should be the technology that's connecting everything. That's the biggest marketing platform that we saw, and it's not doing it. Then can we? Now the question is, there's a problem right there. There's a super highest quality product or service that we have, and there's a lot of people around the world who's craving to have it, and can we connect the dot together with the technology is the question, right? So, and obviously we're in it because we really think that we can solve that problem, right? So
from corporate side, from Suntory, the interesting part is recently I don't talk too much about technology first because I'm not a tech guy. I just good at drinking. So the point is, when talking to Suntory to convince this project it's a new way to tell the story behind the scene, and so what we are going to launch in Sakazuki community, as an example of hidden gems, is when, as I said, after returning from US, I met our top of craftsmanship team and asked, don't you have any hidden gems you are not allowed to test and launch? They shared with me a bunch of hidden gems. Some were super exclusive premium green tea shochu, or super rare vintage plum wine, or even whiskey from a super rare cask. What they told me is, hey, Charlie, in Suntory, we own like 1.5 million casks. Each cask is not just a brand of whiskey, it's a component whiskey. And blenders blend each cask and make it Yamazaki or Kakubin. But in 1.5 million casks, there's few casks which is super great taste with a deep story, but we can launch this limited number of bottles just to distribute because it's too hard to tell the story, and sometimes it's uncontrollable when it comes to distribution. And sometimes it goes to flippers, sometimes it goes to the liquor store without telling the story. So for me, why Sakazuki is here for Suntory, it was a great solution to get people connected. So like, I'm Highball Charlie, but I worked hard as a highball evangelist, not to sell our brand, to enrich people's lifestyle by bringing new proposal of how to enjoy better life. So Sakazuki is going to be a community to, how do I say, to finding the right people for those craftsmen to test and launch those hidden gem craftsmanship.
Yeah, and as Charlie said, it's all about like, we see Web3 different from a lot of people here, and I have no problem, going on debate or anything. As you can see, when you come to Japan, it's people-to-people relationship. They call me a meeting because they want a real IRL meeting. They don't want a Zoom meeting, so they call me from like LA to fly out here to do real meeting. And think about it, like Web 2. Are you guys sick of like fucking Twitter or all the information just getting shoved into your throat? I am, right? Simple as that. Hey, Web 2 is a great tool to reach mass, but I think the personal relationship is not there. Everybody's craving for interaction. They want to connect to people. Yeah, digital is amazing, but hey, there's a downside to it. And we see Web3 as a different way. We really think it's not people going into the virtual world. We think the technology is going to come to us. I think the ROL part is going to be super important. The amazing thing that me and Emily, like felt going to this kind of, EDCON is our event, right? We're connecting to each other. And, these are the things that I really think is super valuable. I call in Japanese, kachikan no gugenka. So it's a way that we connect with people who's, has a similar mind, similar value. And that's the really, really hard part, when you go into the Web 2, because everybody can fake, right? Everybody can say whatever they want. Now, with this technology, if you do it right way, I only want to connect with people that I really care about or who I am fascinated about or who share the same value, right? And, it can be anything, right? And I'm pretty sure everybody around the world, those are the people who you want to share value with. And you don't want to be connected to somebody who's like, you don't even know, right? Twitter, who's saying whatever, and, you don't even know if that's true or not. I think Web3 authenticity is going to be the key. Personalization is going to be key. And I think Japan is, I don't know, I think there might be, but from my, view, I think Japan is one of the, one of the top countries that cares and that sees the value in that, humanness and connection. So.
That's how, Japan has long history and then also deep culture. I was so surprised because I'm based in the States, and then when I'm back, I go to different restaurants, different small businesses, and then all those restaurants, a lot of them are like at least 100 years running. Some of them are like 300 years, 400 years. A couple of days ago, I went to one of the summer festival, Natsu Matsuri, in Osaka, which is my hometown, Tenjin Matsuri. It runs like 1,000 years, which is kind of crazy, like in terms of the perspectives, from outside of Japan. And then I think, what Sakazuki is going to bring is, Sakazuki is going to be a platform that everybody can showcase what they've been creating, what they've been passionate about, because when we went to Kagoshima, there's a Santori distillery, like Shochu distillery, and those craftsmen people, they're really amazing. Like I ask question, why do you do this? Why are you? What motivates you to going forward? They're just saying, oh, I love this. I want to just live with it. I want to die with it. It's crazy, right?
That's a story that mass communication can tell.
Yeah. But the thing is, they're not really good at showing off. They're not really. This is one of the Japanese beauty too. They're not really good at. How do you say that? Good at showcasing themselves, presenting.
We are too humble.
Yeah, they're too humble, like Charlie.
Yeah. And, I think Web2 is a great technology to reach masses. But again, it's a shallow technology. Like there's no real connection. I think Web3 technology is a deep, and the connection there is there. And I think that's what is gonna happen. People are done with just 1 million follower. Who cares right now, right? You have a 1 million follower, doesn't mean anything. Right now, people can buy followers, right? So, and that's where we are right now. And I'm sick of it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people I talk to are sick of it. And we're like, and I think that's the part that we're like going back again, So we're going back to, I don't know, when we, meet face to face and, know each other personally, right? I think the Web3 technology is the technology that can use it in that way. And I really think, I don't know how many people really talk about this, but we're seeing the world that's going to change from that point of view, right? So that, as you can see from the storyboard, storytelling, is what we really think, experience is what we think is going to be the key. It's not about how product is there, but it's like a lifetime story and, what's behind it, right? That adds a value to anything you do. And going into the experience that you never can buy with money. I talk to a lot of people with a lot of money, and they're like, oh, I go to Japan, and they go to I'm like, I've been there 50 times. And I'm like, where you go? And he's like, I go to Michelin star, 3-star. That's it. And I'm like, that's not Japan, And TripAdvisor, like Google, it's not Japan too, right? You have to be with the local. You have to localize. You have to meet people. Hey, one thing I can guarantee, you can say, hey, that guy in the middle is bullshitting. But that's so cool. But Charlie is fucking real, right? If you meet Charlie, he'll take you to places that you never experienced, like real Japan. It's not gonna be super fancy restaurant, but
hidden gems bar.
Yeah, hidden gems down the alley, those kind of spot, right? And those are the places, from what I've been talking to, everybody wanna go. Not the tourist trap, not the Michelin stars that you can go in New York or France or anywhere. You wanna experience something that you never experienced in other country, and that's something that we think there's a value to because it's exclusive, right? It's not something that you can get it anywhere. And that's something that we can connect with the blockchain technology. That's what we want to do.
What made this project excited for Suntory is exactly this is a kind of improvement of new way of interaction by sharing values, which mass marketing cannot do. When it comes to more storytelling, it's impossible just reach to people widely with mass marketing. Our community will be narrow, but we can go deeply to tell the story, and with the ownership of with the potential of blockchain, it will make people more proactively our fan to invite next fans for some Suntory or Japanese craftsmanship. So the challenges I faced these 2 years since I met Terry and Emily, people in Suntory, some middle managers, they asked me, "Oh, when are you going to monetize with NFT? What's your return on business? What's your sales target with NFT?" No, if I do that, it's same Web2 approach with top-down, one direction, top-down approach. So it's more about building up a bonding, and it's not making money from NFT or whatever. It's more about finding the people who we can share value. At the end of the day, they will love more about Japanese craftsmanship, including Suntory. Then people will drink more Suntory brand at the end of the day. So that's fine for Suntory. So what I'm proud of this project, by the deep understanding from our owner, is, yes, Sakazuki is not just for Suntory as a selling platform. It's a platform to connect people and connect craftsmanship. And we are the bridge with global connection. And what we provide is not just a bottle. It's all about the experience we always focus on. So we will launch some exclusive bottles, but what's more important is how to tell the story directly from the craftsman, and how to enjoy the experience of when you drink it in our event or inviting to our Hidden Gems bar in Japan. So those kind of sharing value is a totally new way of approach for as a maker. And looking ahead, next generation, they are getting more and more clever. I have one eight years old boy. He's already using ChatGPT as his friend. He's way much smarter than me when it comes to IT. So to tell the story without fake, we believe this is the right solution.
And again, as Charlie said, again, Suntory, even though, again, it's a global brand, we're not here to sell anything. We're, as you can see, we really think the success is not in one company approach. I don't know, you guys are in Japan, a lot of Japanese companies, telling you about Japanese market. If you're thinking about working with Japanese company, like, they tend to work domestically, right? They don't really want to work with somebody who don't speak Japanese or they don't understand culture. And Japan's been thriving on that, with the Japanese market being pretty big around the world. But that's kind of Japan population declining. They're opening up more, and in Web3, that's what we're saying to other Japanese companies. Hey, let's work together. Not only within the Japanese company, but work with global companies, global projects, global developers, right? I think that is the key. I really think Japan has the most highest quality product in a lot of sections that not well known, or that's not discovered yet. It's still hidden, right? And hey, people around here like Charlie, Suntory, and stuff, they can reach those products, but they have a difficulties reaching global market or understanding about the global technology. That's where I think this EDCON or something can connect with Japanese company and developers, or creators or marketers or anything like that, right? But one thing that I tell both sides is, companies coming to Japan, they have to understand Japanese culture. And you can't just come in and shove the U.S. product or something and make Japanese people understand, because that's not how we do business, right? And Japanese people, I tell them, hey, you got to open up. The approval process, or the speed of decision making, is not global standard at all, right? And that's something that I think both way, if we can kind of come to agreement to come together, and both sides, I think, really have to work on that. I think there's a big ass opportunity. I really think Japan is gonna be the key, probably the hub for Asia if you do it right. Why? Because again, we have the product and content, And what is Web3? Web3, there's no product, right? It's a technology to connect something. It's a data, right? So that's why I really think there's a good synergy of connecting together or sharing together, working together. That is the whole thing about the Web3. And, again, Japan has that product that everybody is striving for. Like everybody around the world is telling me, hey, Japan with the IPs, craft, everything they have, why aren't they in Web3? Japanese, every single company that I talk to, they're in Web3, just that nobody knows around the world. Why is that? That's the question, right? And there's still a humongous gap between the, companies coming in Web3 and Japanese company. But hey, Japanese people, they're not gonna talk to you straight up in the face. They'll just talk to you shit on behind the back, right? So,
It's difficult to penetrate.
Yeah,
Market,
it's
yeah.
difficult to, I have a difficult time. Like, I gotta go drinking with Charlie every fucking day to get, relationship and stuff too. So, it's not easy. It's like super old school. I still get fax. Japanese government use floppy disk. Japan's like super old school, right? So you gotta understand and you gotta respect the culture behind it, and come in terms and I really think there's a great opportunity here in this country.
Let me share some example of our partnership collaboration. Our logo of Sakazuki was created by famous legendary fashion designer Yamamoto Kansai's team, because it was a win-win collaboration for them to get connected globally. And also, we just don't sell our Suntory brand because of our name of Sakazuki. We also collaborate with Sake Cup Potter because Ryota Aoki also wants the more connection globally.
But Charlie, when you said collaboration, I think they just think you just borrowed their, thing.
Working together.
Yeah, it's more about like partnership. We don't call it. I don't really want to call it collaboration because like so many projects doing, and it's a one-time drop or something. It's more like a long time. Hey, me and Charlie, we're all about, hey, if there's no long-term relationship, we're not gonna work with you. If we see the same vision, we'll work with you. Same as Kansai Man team. I'm working with them too. We go to every single factory to talk to craftsmen. I don't know how many projects really do that. And you really talk to these people, you connect with each other. And if they're sharing the same value, now you're forming a team bond, right? And I think there's a value to it. I don't know, maybe it's not logical, right? Going all the way to the, every single factory, spending a lot of time and spending money and, building relationship. But I think that's the value in Japan. I really think that is the value that, if we can transform that into the technology, a lot of people are gonna appreciate that time and effort and, history and storytelling behind all this craft and service and IP, even like manga or game, this, it's not, more and more with AI coming, a lot of things is gonna be easy, right? Everything's gonna be easy. And that's gonna decrease a lot of things, it's gonna be accessible for a lot of people to buy those things, which is great, a lot of people gonna have a better time. But also the craft behind it, the time and effort, there's gonna be, I think, that's gonna elevate those kind of value. And people who really appreciate that craft behind it, I think that's gonna be key factor into, building the next generation market and, dynamics from that too, so.
Next slide.
So that's why, Sakazuki again, want to be a platform, and then also creating super fans, because it's gonna connect, people, craftsmen, and then also people who appreciate the crafts or culture directly, right? That's the Web3 technology. So we're creating super fans who are really, really engaged and connected. So yeah, I think they already explained a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
but
like again with the fans, it's not quantity of fan, it's a quality of fan. we want to connect with the right people, not more people.
And global first.
Yeah. So again, we're not, again, it's more about not limiting people, right? If we share the same value, we don't really care where you're from, right? What age group or who you are. It's more about sharing the value and bringing the right people together. I think that's gonna create the strongest community. And again, with people, you can do whatever you want. Like, you can, create a business among it, or you can do something good. I don't know, but hey, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this to elevate my life. And I'd rather be with somebody who shares the same value. I'm not here to, I'm not young, so I'm not here to convince people to be my friend. I just want to be friend with people who I really care about and, who shares the same vision and value, so.
I really totally agree with what Terry said. Like, as Web2 social media became really huge, we have less authentic, true connection each other, because what we write on the social media or what we post, the video or photos, what we can see, right? And it's hard for right now, it's getting harder or more difficult to share the vision or values. And like Terry said, 가치관 no具現化, make the vision visible. That's something that I truly also believe that Web3 technology can change in the future. So next 10, 20 years might be different type forum. I think everybody knows that, right? Everybody sees that. That's why everybody's here and then, taking risk and getting opportunity. So yeah, that's why we're open to, connect with everybody, as much as possible and sharing values. And, I hope, we can make something greater ever. But yeah, so here's the Sakazuki approach. And you want to explain, Terry?
Yeah, it's really simple. We do global activation. We want to connect with people IRL. Even though we only talk about people, we have developers, our team. We have a dev team in our team. We work with a lot of Web3 companies to develop an app. Again, it's more about focusing on connecting people. Again, we're creating this membership. It's a full 100% invite only. We're doing a super old school approach. If we don't, we're only inviting people that we actually meet and talk. So it's super old school. Maybe it's against a lot of Web3 projects. And as Charlie talked about exclusive spreads, these are something that you can't just go buy a Santori website. It's only for our community, and it's one-on-one stuff, right? And we want to provide the experience. We really think drinking is experience because for me, I don't really drink. I only drink occasionally when I connect with people, and having a special drink or special cup.
It's
everything.
like a Charlie's magic. If you guys don't drink or if you guys love drink, please connect this guy, Charlie, because he's going to create the magic that's going to make you feel so great. And then the drink's so special, the moment expect what's
Until you say stop, I will continue my hidden gems bar tour till late at night.
Yeah, tonight, if you guys are coming, at EDCON Sakazuki reception, you will guys have a great.
It's invitation only plus hangout with Charlie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's the connection we want to do. I think that again, we're using our focus is not the technology. Our focus is something above technology, on it. So I'm pretty sure here there are so many people who's smart enough to create some stuff that we'll probably be using. So our focus is something more about people. So yeah, so we're gonna continue doing this. And hey,
I also want to add one thing.
Go
He said, so our approach is really unique. Having invitation only, people we have to see the face and everything. But that's the first step approach. But our aim is, of course, we want to bring the mass. But they've been talking about this a lot of stuff. But a lot of projects, a lot of companies, they're really, really rushing to make something happen. But as you guys already know, Web3 is too early right now. So when the internet wasn't there. You guys are trying to create like internet. So, so we've been focusing on at least 20, 30 years ahead. And then, this is the first approach, first step. We have to bring right people in. That's why we're, doing invitation only right now.
Yeah, I go to every single country, and there are a lot of people, people who's not in Web3 are super skeptical about Web3 space because there's so many people who's scamming, shady, that you don't want to be associated with. A lot of brand doesn't want to, connect to Web3 world, and, EDCON is doing a super great job of bringing the right people in. And that's the same approach that we're doing. That's the whole reason we're here talking in EDCON, because I think, they're doing a great approach of bringing the right people around the world. And, we just have to continue building that from now.
There's no music behind, but these are something that it's a simple 1 minute video that we've been doing this activations and events all around the world, like Paris, Miami, Texas, LA, and it seems fancy, and it is fancy too. But at the same time, what we focus is more about storytelling, and that's why we partner with different projects that focus on different department, like arts, or we bring.
Because we do it during Art Basel. We do it, Texas is Marfa with the art blocks when they do the activation there. And again, here we are there to connect, and if there's a great community we share same vision, then we work with them and try to get people together. So, and, I know EDCON is really, really academic, educational, academic and stuff, but, as you can see, we're there to have fun too. So if you guys want to connect and enjoy and have fun, let's do it. I really think this is something that we're super early. We can build on it from here, and we fly everywhere. So hope we can do sakazuki, drink together. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.